fuels that help his engine run cleaner, smoother, and with better fuel economy. So he can make it to the meeting that matters most. Gordon is energy. Exxon and Mobil. Energy lives here.
Zantac heartburn alert! Stop! Nexium can take 24 hours to work. Zantac's different. Zantac rushes relief in as little as 30 minutes. For relief without the wait, try Zantac. No pill relieves heartburn faster.
What if your morning routine weren't so routine? Introducing one-a-day VitaCrave's Chewy Bites. Complete multivitamins with nutrients like B vitamins and vitamin D in hard-shell chocolatey chewy bites. New from One-A-Day.
I typed my name, and Ancestry opened the door to my past. Before my eyes, my family story was revealed. And the further I travelled back, the more I discovered. Let Ancestry guide you through the world's largest online collection of family history records. Discover your story today at Ancestry.com.
Your cat and a lynx. They have many similar traits, like a love for meat. That's why there's Blue Wilderness, a meat-rich, grain-free food that satisfies a primitive instinct in every feline. It contains the chicken, duck, or salmon they desire. Try Blue Wilderness today, because your cat is wild inside. Experience the Lynx Lair and feel the...
So, as my personal financial psychic, I'm sure you know what this meeting is about.
Yes. A raise.
I'm letting you go.
I knew that.
You see, this is my Amerivest managed...
Balances.
No, portfolio. And if it doesn't perform well for 2 consecutive...
Gold.
Quarters.
Yeah.
Then Amerivest gives me back their advisory...
Stocks.
Fees. Fees for those quarters.
Yeah.
So, I'm confident I'm in good hands.
For all the confidence you need. TD Ameritrade. You got this.
The conference call. The ultimate arena for business. Hour after hour of diving deep, touching base, and putting ducks in rows. The only problem with conference calls, eventually they have to end. Unless you have the Comcast Business Voice Edge mobile app. It lets you switch seamlessly from your desk phone to your mobile with no interruptions. I've never felt so alive.
Get the future of phone, and the phones are free. Comcast Business, built for business.
56. Or go to HumanaBigBook.com. The savings are too big to miss.
Look at this! Listen to that!
See this winter like never before. Amazing starts here. The Weather Channel Mornings.
All right, time now for our winter weather update. Of course, this is the tail of the tape right here. Take a look at this. Rainfall since Sunday in San Francisco, 3.95 inches. And in all of 2013, the entire year in San Francisco, 3.38 at the airport. Wow. That's why the flooding, that's why all the problems. But boy, I'll tell you, we really needed this rainfall. Still some nice rain across Northern California here, up toward Lake Oroville. Just fantastic news as we continue to see just a nice soaking up there. Snow levels are pretty high. They're up around 7,000 feet or so. So there'll still be more snow. There'll still be some snow up around Mount Shasta and the Siskiyou region, but it'll be in the highest elevations. Now, Los Angeles, you're not done yet. There's a little disturbance right here in the southern branch of the jet stream. As a matter of fact, it's the same one that's going to create all the wet weather in the southeast on Saturday. And that's a piece of it anyway. And it's going to bring in some showers into Southern California. As a matter of fact, you can already see them. This is not going to be a super soaker. All right, we don't have the moisture is a bit separated from the energy here, so expect a few of the mountain locations, certainly an inch is possible. But some of those areas where we've gotten some pretty heavy rain, it could certainly exacerbate things that are going on. So we've got that piece of energy, we've got another piece of energy up to the north and through here, and these will be some key players going forward because the question's not are we going to have an East Coast storm. The question is where is it going to be in terms of the East Coast? Is it going to be too far off the coast, or is it going to be closer inland? Either way, I think with this kind of a jet stream early next week and into the middle of next week, expect a lot of unsettled weather potentially for the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast. That's just the way the jet stream is going to buckle with this flow and really kind of set us up that way. So here's early next week with scenario number 2. Storm a little bit closer here. This is one of the models. This is the European model. It's a little bit closer here, so we think that there's a chance certainly for some heavier rain. Right now, it looks mostly wet in the Big big cities, at least early in the week. Certainly Sunday night, we know it's going to be wet, but there will be potentially some heavier snow on Monday once we get into New York State and New England with this system. As a matter of fact, if we get another system on Wednesday, we could be dealing with some real heavy snow. So here's the storm on Tuesday. Depending on where it is, will make all the difference in the world. Again, this is one model scenario of how this is going to pan out. Wednesday, if there's a storm, let's say a little bit farther east, as the American model suggests, there certainly may be a chance to get a little bit of snow in toward the Boston area. But right now, it certainly looks like the suburbs and the interior west of I-95 gets most of the frozen precipitation here, and not what's going on the East Coast. So, but you know, things are going to change. I guarantee it. We just have to watch these models kind of come together over the next several days, which we know that they will do. All right. On to what is going to be potentially a global story here coming up in the next few days. This is a Hagapit. This is a huge super typhoon right now making its way, sadly, toward the Philippines. Winds right now 150 miles per hour, according to the latest Joint Typhoon Warning Center guidance. And look at that thing. Once again, we know it's a monster. You've got, again, this huge central dense overcast, very large eye circulating around that, and all the power right in this part of the donut, and it's just rolling on off toward the west. The big question is, and we've seen now over the past couple of days, what is going to happen with this as it makes its way toward the Philippines? Well, there's no reason it's not going to continue to go west. We know that for certain, certainly as we head toward the next 48 hours. But after that, there's a little bit of a weakness that may slow it and then turn it to the north. But then some of the model guidance suggests later on in the weekend, it starts heading back toward the west. Either way, this is going to be a very, very powerful typhoon. As a matter of fact, this is already a 5 in terms of Westpac. It's well, now we wouldn't call it 5, but we call this a super typhoon at 150 miles per hour out and through here. But look at this. Thursday night, 175 miles an hour, 185 miles per hour. Tacloban, we remember how incredibly destroyed and damaged they were 2 years ago with the typhoon. So again, guys, we are hoping for a big, big turn with this. But right now, Tacloban very much potentially, anyway, in the path of this very, very dangerous super typhoon. Guys, back to you.
Thank you so much, Jim. And you know what's happening tonight?
Yeah, at Rockefeller Center in New York, they're lighting the big Christmas tree. And the forecast is a good one. Just some clouds and some wind, no rain, no snow either.
Currently in our area, 74 degrees under cloudy skies. Tonight, some clouds. Slight chance of a rain shower. Low 72. Winds northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy. Chance of a thunderstorm. High 79. Chance of rain 30%. Thursday night, thunder showers. Low 72. Winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Chance of rain 50%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome into Weather Center Live on a Wednesday afternoon. I'm Alex Wilson.
And I'm Dave Schwartz. Record-breaking rain is causing all kinds of problems in California. Mudslides, flooding, trees down. It's that season in California. We're covering all the angles.
And we're just about 14 hours away from the launch of NASA's new spacecraft on its first voyage to space. We'll be talking to NASA this hour about the mission. So we have a lot to get to. Live from the Weather Channel headquarters in Atlanta.
You're watching Weather Center Live with Alex and Dave.
Yeah, we're so glad you're here.
And we want to start this hour with a look at some of the amazing video from California. Look at all that water. That's all water over there on the other side of the road. This is Marin County, north of San Francisco. The area around San Rafael has just been swamped by heavy rain since yesterday. You see it lapping up against homes, creeping over a busy highway, flooding streets and neighborhoods. We're told firefighters from every agency in Marin County were called out to help with flooding problems since last night. Now today, residents are being urged to pick up sandbags and wait for the water to recede. Now, if you're in California or you know someone who is, we want to see your rainstorm video. If you think it would look great on the Weather Channel, we want you to text the phrase rain to the number 95577 for instructions on how to get that video to us. Alex, back to you.
Well, Dave, you know, when we talk about this California rain, it has some incredible stats that are coming out. Rainfall in San Francisco since Sunday, almost 4 inches, 3.95 inches. 3.38 inches, that's what you saw in all of 2013 as far as rain is concerned. So in just a span of about 48 hours, we've seen more rain than in all of 2013. And there's the rain continuing around San Jose and Sacramento. San Francisco area, you've seen a few showers. Same for the Los Angeles area. You know, it has slowed things down on the roads thanks to that rainfall and some areas that are already notorious for traffic. So you know when the roads are wet, that's going to add to the trouble. There's that area of low pressure continuing to bring that moisture into the west coast. And when we look at tomorrow's forecast, we're still going to keep rain around, but it'll be more in the way of showers than the steady heavy rain. Friday, we'll still see rain up into Northern California. Elsewhere, just a few showers left over. So generally the pattern will be for quieter and drier weather into Southern California. Tomorrow, or through tomorrow, up to an inch possible. Additional rainfall for San Diego, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. 1 to 2, even 2 to 3 inches further up to the north. In San Francisco, showers on Thursday. Better chance of a little bit more rain on Friday. And then some morning showers will linger into your Saturday. By Sunday, finally seeing the sunshine mainly during the afternoon hours with highs, Dave, right around 63 degrees.
Now, Alex, all this rain fuels an all too familiar challenge in one neighborhood. This is the 4th time one homeowner in Azusa, California, is watching and waiting to see if he'll have to repair or rebuild part of his home. Our own Dave Malkoff shows us why the scenic site is so vulnerable.
Now that we've got a break in the rain, we have a perfect demonstration of what actually happens here in Southern California, why it's so dangerous to live right under these mountains. It's beautiful, but dangerous. Look at this mountain right here. It burned in January, big fire out here, and you can see the burn scars back there. What it does is it rips up all the vegetation, and underneath there's all those rocks and dust and debris, and all that stuff is just waiting to be hit by the rain. When the rain hits, it pours down on here, and then a avalanche of rocks and mud just pour into this home. It's happened 3 times this year to this home alone. It was so tough that it actually came into the home, came in and ripped out all the carpeting, took the home off its foundation and made the home sink a little bit. They had to raise it back up. What you see here, back here, are rows and rows of avocado trees. Maybe those could possibly stop some of the debris from coming down the mountain, but no amount of avocados is going to stop a debris flow when the boulders are the size of cars and it's coming into homes. That is the real danger here in Southern California. In Azusa, I'm Dave Malkoff, the Weather Channel.
Well, we shift from California to the December thaw.
Jim Cantore is in the lab with more on that story.
Yeah, guys, we're looking certainly at the cold air trapped up into Canada now. It doesn't mean it's not going to come, at least in some fashion, down toward the United States. But the kind of flow that we have setting up, at least through the middle part of the month, keeps the coldest up there, which is fine by many of you, especially if you dealt with November, which we all did, especially east of the Rockies. So let's talk about this. This time of the year, of course, we watch these chunks of Arctic air. That's going to come down with that piece of jet stream. The other one that we call the zonal flow here across the United States, it's a split flow in the jet. There's actually 2 jet streams here, but they're going to bring in much more mild Pacific air coming in, and they'll also help to melt the snow. So not only do you have a loss of refrigeration here in the plains, but you also bring in a generally milder air mass from its origin. We call it maritime polar versus continental Arctic or continental polar, which is what we dealt with for the month of November. So here we go on Wednesday. I wanted to show you this because you notice a little piece of this polar air, the continental polar air, actually kind of breaks off and drives its way over the Great Lakes in the east. And this is one of these things that'll have to be watched because there will be storminess on the east coast of some sort. Probably rain right now is how it looks, but there could certainly be some snow. We could get a decent storm out of this and a decent snowpack after a couple of events, depending on how these models line up, but going in probably on Sunday and then potentially again another storm on Tuesday and also in toward Wednesday. So a little bit of an amplitude here showing up on the jet stream as we we work our way towards Saturday and then into early next week as well. So here are the two players, at least where we have them right now. The big question is, how do they potentially interact as they come into the eastern part of the country? And that's what both of the models are differing on right now. This is one solution. Typically, these blue and pink colors are the energy that drives these short waves, as we call them, in the jet stream. And you notice, at least on Monday with this particular model, the American model, those energies are separated. They're not together at all. But the European model actually does a little bit more what we call phasing of these particular streams, and that may get us a little bit more robust system. Either way, the energy is going to be there. We know it's already coming from the southwest of LA right now. It's going to make its way all the way to the East Coast by the time we start early next week. And with the cold air that is around and potentially a reinforcing shot with that secondary piece, look at this. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday very stormy, and if the European is right, even Wednesday could be stormy in the Northeast with potentially even a snowstorm for Boston. Lots of things to unfold, guys, as we go through the next several days. But one thing's for sure, it's going to be unsettled in the east. Back to you.
Absolutely, Jim. Thank you. And that moisture from California is on the move.
It sure is. Find out when you'll need your umbrellas if you live in the Midwest and South. Jim just kind of,
He gave us a little hint, yeah.
Then mudslide or landslide. What you call the mess in California can vary. Find out why as Weather Center Live rolls or flows on.
Flows on, I like that.
Thank you.
From I wonder what it is to you'll never guess. Everything we sell at LL Bean is backed by the same rock-solid guarantee of satisfaction. So while they keep guessing what's inside, you can rest assured that they can always take it back or replace it. That's just how we're made. LL Bean, guaranteed to please.
In the nation, misfortune doesn't take a holiday. But add brand new belongings from Nationwide and we'll replace stolen or destroyed items with brand new versions. Making sure every season is the season of giving. Just another way we put members first. Join the nation.
Nationwide is on your side.
The Weather Channel's hit show Prospectors is back for a third season, and we're celebrating with a Prospectors giveaway.
Oh my God!
Last week to enter at weather.com/prospectors for your chance to win $5,000 in precious gems, plus another $5,000 in cash. Prospectors Season 3 premieres Sunday at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 74 degrees under cloudy skies. Tonight, some clouds, slight chance of a rain shower, low 72. Winds northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy, chance of a thunderstorm, high 79. Chance of rain, 30%. Thursday night, thunder showers, low 72. Winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Chance of rain, 50%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Ride on the most treacherous highway in the world to experience the high risk of heavy rescue. Highway Through Hell, Sundays at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Help us help those in need. Bring in a coat to Burlington. Get 10% off our everyday low prices.
All right, listen up. Out on that field today, you will be ready for anything. And I want you to always remember, this is the greatest team you will ever be part of.
There's important work to be done. And only some able to do it. Can you make the cut?
Energizer Ultimate Lithium, the world's longest-lasting AA battery in high-tech devices. Up to 6 times longer than the other leading brand.
So we have some special guests today to tell us all about the season's hottest toys.
Who else? Kids! This is KJ. KJ, how are you enjoying Leap TV? Did you just say it's just for kids? It's educational and... Melissa?
Julia is playing with the Go-Go My Walking Pup. What do you think, Julia?
Good puppy, good puppy.
Okay, well, there you go. Clearly, they're excited that Walmart has the hottest toys.
Get special financing when you use your Walmart credit card. More ways to Christmas joy. Walmart.
Here's what it looks like outside. Off to the left in the great city of Fort Worth, Texas, we've got cloudy skies, temperatures in the upper 50s. Atlanta also kind of mostly cloudy, the sun about to go down there, but the temperature hits 70 for the 3rd straight day in Atlanta. What a week you've had. But there's some inclement weather coming up. Clement, of course, means kind, and inclement, kind of unkind. So we've got a wet weekend coming up for not only the southeast, but also parts of the Midwest. Now here's a visible satellite image with radar over it, and we see the heavy rain in Northern California. We also see some showers in Southern California, Arizona, and New Mexico. That's the storm for the middle and eastern half of the country coming up this weekend. That area of low pressure zings up through Arizona tomorrow and then out into the plains on Friday. As that happens, moist air will be flowing in toward the low, toward the surface low, sitting over the Gulf of Mexico. That's where the warm, humid air is right now. That will overspread the Houston area tonight and tomorrow, and then up into Dallas, Tulsa, Cape Girardeau, Little Rock, back to the Tennessee Valley, and all the way to the East Coast. Now, the good news is there's no Arctic high north of this. So even though we'll have a front, the air to the north of it still won't be cold enough for a snowstorm. So glad to say. So this is 99% rain from start to finish. Friday, moving into Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, a little freezing drizzle possible in the valleys and maybe up in the Adirondacks in Presidential Range. Saturday, some snow. Aside from that, it's rain. Rain Friday, Saturday, Cincinnati. Also rain back into St. Louis and Dallas and San Antonio. This is Thursday night. This storm will move east. There could be some thunder showers along the Gulf Coast. We'll monitor that. And isolated flooding rains up here through the Ohio River Valley. This rain will move into the Atlanta area Friday night and Saturday. Not heavy rain, but a cold front with some moisture heading toward the Carolinas. Here we are, my friend. Saturday and Sunday, chance of rain for Raleigh. Clearing in the afternoon, and there we have it. So, a storm fairly quick, not too wet, and certainly not icy and snowy.
Yeah, the only problem is, right, it comes on the weekend when everybody was hoping that mild weather would stay with us. Thank you so much, Dave. Well, you know, tonight's the night for the famous Rockefeller Center Christmas tree lights in New York City. Our Reagan Medji explains all that goes into getting it ready and getting it ready to withstand any weather.
It's one of the most iconic symbols of Christmas in the Big Apple, the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree.
It's very impressive, I have to say.
There's a lot of work to make sure this 13-ton tree from northeastern Pennsylvania stays in place.
It's secured by 4 cords to 4 different points, and that touch point is almost at the center of the tree itself, so it can withstand winds or the bad weather, the rain and the snow.
There's a lot of prep work going into the Rockefeller Christmas tree. As you can see, these boxes behind me contain all the electrical equipment for that annual tree lighting ceremony. But what you might not see is all the effort that goes into making sure this 85-foot Norway spruce doesn't topple over in those December winds.
The base of the tree itself and the foundation is a series of I-beams that are constructed and bolted together, and the tree fits perfectly within that structure.
After it's secured, the decorating begins.
Our electricians wrap the tree with 45,000 LED lights over 5 miles of wire, and that process takes approximately 3 weeks.
And each step of the way, people from near and far snap family photos of the tree and all its magic.
Just the tradition of it, just the lighting and the atmosphere of everybody being here and just kickstarting the Christmas season and family and all of it.
It's spectacular, and the lights and the angels and all the people, and there's just, you watch movies and you get to be part of like that whole Christmas miracle.
And the weather looks great. It's cloudy now, dry and cool. Enjoy yourself.
There is no car in this accident because there was no accident. Volvo's most advanced accident avoidance systems ever. The future of safety from the company that has always brought you the future of safety. Give the gift of Volvo this season and we'll give you your first month's payment on us.
We got this one. We got Pepper. Did he help pick it out? No, he's a cat. Is this mine? That one's for Alice, but she doesn't know it yet. Why not? Mom says she's still cooking.
Capture your memories with Hallmark keepsake ornaments.
With the wrong wiper blades, you could be on the road to trouble. But with Michelin Stealth wiper blades, with SmartFlex technology and Smart Hinge exterior, you can see clear for the road ahead. Michelin Stealth, a better way forward. Get your Michelin wiper blades at Walmart.
The Dyson DC59 Motorhead has better overall performance across all floors than the top 5 best-selling full-sized vacuums, without the hassle of a cord.
Hugging a tree in average women's flannel. Hugging a tree in Duluth Trading free swinging flannel. Duluth free swinging flannel. Moving made easy. Flannel made fetching. Get it. Only at DuluthTrading.com.
This Thursday on the Weather Channel Mornings, NASA is set to test launch the Orion space capsule, taking one giant leap toward landing on Mars, and it will be entirely dependent on the weather.
Every footballer at every club, every hero we know and love, every grafter, every brute, every speed merchant in flashy boots, every bloke who takes a spill, every lovely bit of skill, every thrill supporters seek in the Premier League every week.
Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Visit your local Toyota dealer today for amazing deals on your favorite Toyota models. Toyota, let's go places.
The holiday tradition continues. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, the live debut of the Christmas Attic, presented by Hallmark Channel. The all-new show captivating millions of fans across the country. Friday, December 12th, 2 shows at BB&T Center. An awe-inspiring audio-visual experience. Buy your reserve seat tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, the live debut of the Christmas Attic. Latest album available at Target.
And now, at 1-866-680-4971.
The wildest weather ever caught on camera.
Oh my God!
Tonight, tomorrow night, every weeknight. Wild weather at 8 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 72 degrees with light rain. Tonight, some clouds, slight chance of a rain shower, low 72, winds northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy, chance of a thunderstorm, high 79, chance of rain 30%. Thursday night, thunder showers, low 72, winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour, chance of rain 50%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
NASA will make history again, launching the Orion spacecraft into deep space for the first time since Apollo.
The unmanned flight marks NASA's first step toward putting an astronaut on Mars. Now, the Weather Channel's Maria LaRosa is in Florida previewing the launch and brings us more.
Human nature compels us to reach beyond our boundaries and explore.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
When man first landed on the moon, it was a giant step for mankind. And now, for the first time in 40 years, NASA is ready to take another giant leap into deep space, setting their sights far beyond the moon with the Orion spacecraft.
Orion is really designed to conduct many different missions, deep space missions, and so we have to have a lot more capability and flexibility in Orion than we had in the Apollo spacecraft.
The Orion will launch from Cape Canaveral, just a few miles from the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex, where both the history of space and its future are proudly displayed. While this is just a test run for the Orion, this launch is the first step towards putting an astronaut on Mars.
So we're going to fly our first orbital test flight. It's a very big deal for Orion and for the country, really. We're going to launch Orion on a Delta IV launch vehicle. And we're going to do a orbit in low Earth orbit, and then we're going to go into an elliptical orbit, and we're going to travel 3,600 miles away from Earth.
During that 4-hour mission, Orion's key operating systems will be put to the test, like the massive heat shield and the 11 parachutes, designed to slow the spacecraft from a 20,000-mile-an-hour re-entry to a safe splashdown in the Pacific.
And that will be the farthest that we've ever flown a spacecraft away from Earth and brought it back since Apollo 17. Eventually, Orion will be the vehicle that will take people to deep space destinations, so the moon or an asteroid or eventually even onto Mars.
Orion may be ready for a test flight, but the weather has to be ready as well. How does weather affect the mission?
To be able to launch on December the 4th, the launch window opens at 7:05 in the morning, and so there are weather limitations that we have to be within, weather limits to be able to launch. So if you could, keep the winds below 30 miles an hour and keep the cloud deck at a really high level, okay?
Hopefully, Mother Nature will cooperate. Maria LaRosa, The Weather Channel.
We'll keep watching in the next 20 minutes for the Orion launch forecast, and be sure to wake up to our live coverage tomorrow of the actual launch. And of course, Maria LaRosa, she's going to be in Cape Canaveral tomorrow morning on AMHQ.
I think she's making a bid to be an astronaut one day.
I think she could do it.
Really do. Now, we have some amazing technology here at the Weather Channel. Let me punch this here.
Yeah, hit the button.
Yeah, hit it. Okay, including one piece of equipment that can show you the path.
Keep pushing it.
There it comes.
There you go.
This will show you the path that Orion will take. Can we get that up here?
Yeah,
there
we're
we
going to show you how it works.
Okay.
Obviously, we've said liftoff happens at Cape Canaveral, Florida, and that's going to happen just after 7 a.m. But 6 minutes and 15 seconds into the flight, when it's over the Atlantic, we're going to lose the service modules. And you know what those are? Well, those are the power, the propulsion, the things that get you up in the air.
Yeah. Okay. And then it goes around the world, and just shy of 2 hours in, the engine refires to raise the trajectory. So not a tight circle. It's going to swing out into that elliptical orbit they were talking about.
Because at 3 hours in, it's going to get to its highest point, its highest altitude, and that is going to be 3,600 miles. That's pretty high. That's higher than a big roller coaster.
Yeah, that's much higher than that. Now, it orbits and re-enters the atmosphere at 4 hours, 13 minutes before splashing down in the water off the coast of Mexico 13 minutes later.
So just think of that. In just over half of your workday, this thing's going to go around the Earth twice, 36,000 feet in the air.
And the whole idea is to test this vehicle's ability to take off, to come down into the atmosphere. The takeoff and landing are the most important part of a flight that you take. It certainly is the most important part of these extraterrestrial trips.
Right, and hopefully after this test flight, they'll be able to continue and eventually send humans into space, and deep space is what they're talking about. Asteroid, Mars, the moon.
Sometime in the mid-2020s, as we understand.
How about that?
Well, later this hour, we'll talk to the NASA administrator about the mission. He'll tell us what Orion could do for those of us on this planet.
Plus, we head back to California, where some cities look like islands amid water and mud. Heavy rain is the reason why, and coming up, we'll talk about the challenges opening up literally as another round of rain approaches.
Introducing a PM pain reliever that dares to work all the way until the AM. New Aleve PM, the only one to combine a safe sleep aid plus the 12-hour strength of Aleve.
What's that? Oh, wow. Hello, humans. Focus on me.
Focus on the guard. Don't tell anyone what you've seen in here.
Have you seen what's in there? They have
Intel. This is where it all changes.
Sensitive bladder? Never miss a chance to dance. Introducing a revolution in bladder leak protection. New, always discreet. Up to 40% thinner for superior comfort. Absorbs 2 times more than you may need for dance all you want protection. No wonder more women already prefer new Always Discreet pads over Poise. New Always Discreet. Now bladder leaks can feel like no big deal. Because, hey, pee happens. Visit alwaysdiscreet.com for coupons and your free sample.
You owned your car for 4 years. You named it Brad. You loved Brad. And then you totaled him. You two had been through everything together. 2 boyfriends, 3 jobs. You're like, nothing can replace Brad. Then Liberty Mutual calls. And you break into your happy dance.
If you sign up for Better Car Replacement, we'll pay for a car that's a model year newer with 15,000 fewer miles than your old one. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
For most people, earning cash back ends here at the purchase. But there's a new card in town. Introducing the Citi Double Cash Card. It lets you earn cash back when you buy and again as you pay. That's cash back twice. It's cash back with a side of cash back. The Citi Double Cash Card, the only card that lets you earn cash back twice on every purchase, with 1% when you buy and 1% as you pay. With 2 ways to earn, it makes a lot of other cards seem one-sided.
Each year, 17 billion toilet paper tubes are thrown away. Enough to fill the Empire State Building. Twice. Toss the tube for good with Scott Naturals Tube Free.
Stanley Steamer is the first carpet cleaning service certified asthma and allergy friendly. It's our new standard of clean. Call about our $99 carpet cleaning special.
Call 1-800-STEAMER. Stanley Steamer, your certified cleaner.
The Weather Channel's hit show Prospectors is back for a 3rd season, and we're celebrating with a Prospectors giveaway.
Oh my God!
Last week to enter at weather.com/prospectors for your chance to win $5,000 in precious gems, plus another $5,000 in cash. Prospectors Season 3 premieres Sunday at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 72 degrees with light rain. Tonight, cloudy intervals, slight chance of a rain shower, low 72. Winds northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy, chance of a thunderstorm, high 78. Chance of rain, 30%. Thursday night, thunder showers, low 72. Winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Chance of rain, 50%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Every Monday night this fall.
What is it that produces these things?
The Weather Channel unlocks the secrets of the Earth. The all-new season continues Monday night at 9 on the Weather Channel.
We are back on Weather Center Live looking at San Francisco and Santa Monica, California.
Yeah, brightening up in San Francisco a little bit. And Santa Monica, we're still overcast, but we're not getting the heavy rain we saw here yesterday. In San Francisco, they picked up 3.5 inches of rain since Sunday, and you can believe that? That's more than they've had in 2013.
Right.
Total.
When you look at the calendar year 2013, 3.38 inches is all that fell. And speaking of San Francisco, the sewer actually reached its capacity overnight and 40 manholes popped open.
Look at them.
Yeah, this is
1,
video
2.
of what it actually looked like overnight. You can see the water rushing up from below. Crazy. You know, we've been talking about California wanting water, and in this case, just too much.
That's usually the case here. You know, the next big problem we're hearing about in the Bay Area, not only the potholes, but sinkholes. And at least 2 of them opened up since yesterday. You can see this one. That's about, what, a lane wide on a street? The San Francisco Examiner reports a sinkhole at Lake Street and 6th Avenue in the Richmond district forced the gas and electric company to shut off the gas in the area. And that's not all, right, Alex?
No, because where it's not raining, it's snowing. This is video from Mammoth Mountain, California. The ski resort picked up more than a foot of new snow since the weekend, and it's still coming down now. Now, we're just about done with the steady rain after today, but we'll still see more rain and snow showers as we go into the end of the week. So still, especially Northern California, you've got a little more wet weather. Los Angeles area, you've got some showers around. Same for the San Diego area. Things in Southern California will turn drier as we move forward in time. In fact, into tomorrow, you can see the rain showers stick with us into the early overnight, but by tomorrow morning when you're getting up, few clouds at 6 a.m., 9 a.m., you'll actually see some peaks of sunshine out there. So your morning commute will feature sun glare rather than the wet roads that this morning's commute had. There's the snow up into the higher elevations. You can see rain generally focused into Northern California. Flood alerts do continue, though. We've got the flash flood watches down around the Los Angeles area and then up towards Yosemite and around Auburn. Now, looking at the setup as we get into the end of the week, that first storm that's brought us the rainfall so far, that weakens. Another storm approaches. It's going to draw in some moisture generally into Northern California, where we have the best chance of steady, heavier rain at times through the end of the week. Now, tomorrow, it's mostly showers with the high elevation snow. On Friday, rain focused into Northern California to about San Francisco. Showers further off to the south. Even Monterey, though, you could see some steadier, heavier rain at times. And through tomorrow, 1 to 2 inches additional rainfall possible through much of Northern California. Around Redding and points off towards the southeast, 2 to 3 inches possible. San Fran, Los Angeles, and San Diego, you could see up to 1 inch of additional rain. San Francisco might even also see some peaks of sunshine for your morning commute. Dave.
And even in San Francisco, you know, most of California is like this. And when you get heavy rain on top of that, water is going to flow off the mountainsides into rivers. They get rushing. You can get flooding. That's what happened here on the Pacific Coast Highway near Malibu, just up the coast from L.A. on Monday. Earlier today, we had Jonathan Gott with the U.S. Geologic Survey on the air, and we asked him if a mudslide and a landslide are the same thing. Well, it turns out there is a difference. Only if you're not a geologist.
So mudslide's used sort of as a common term or a colloquial term for a geologist. Any sort of earth that moves down slope is a landslide. But how it gets used in common usage is a mudslide is a debris flow, one of these fast-moving slurries like wet concrete, and landslide tends to be something deeper seated and slower moving.
Okay, well, if you followed that, I think the bottom line is if it's wet and it's moving, you got a problem, no matter what you call it. Now, here's what happens. You know, you hear us talk about, oh, well, if the rain gets over to this burn scar area, there's likely to be flooding. Here's what happens in California. In the dry season, there are forest fires and brush fires, usually set by people. That burns the plants, but that's not all it does. The roots get burnt and damaged, weakening the trees, what's left of them, and gas is released into the soil. Well, that gas cools, becomes kind of this gummy, waxy thing with the soil, and presents to us a layer that's kind of like a slip and slide underneath the topsoil and ash. So when it rains, boom, it's all going downhill. It's a flash flood, it's a mudslide, it's a landslide, whatever you want to call it. So that's double trouble for us here. It would be bad enough that it's mountains with flooding rains, but when you have that situation in a previously burned area, flooding is almost a cinch to occur. Now let's head to the lab. Here's Alex with Jim Cantori.
That's right, because, we're actually talking about switching gears and going from November, which was exceptionally cold, to December, which might be closer to average in many spots.
Yeah, and I think people are going to like it. I mean, well, why not bring back the snow since we're seeing so much of it, especially in the Sierra. But November was cold. And actually, matter of fact, I thought it would be cool to compare snowpacks. Yeah. Here we are. This was the max snowpack we had in November, a little over 50% of the nation, which is just unheard of.
So many states, all the way down into Texas.
And remember, it was freezing, but this acts like refrigeration. Right. All right, so that's a big player here. Now we're sitting at 24.8%. The other thing, though, is where's the air coming from? Right. Instead of coming from the Arctic, it's coming in from the Pacific. This is a much stronger part of the jet stream this month than it was last month. So two good things out of this. Number one, it doesn't get as cold, as we talked about. The other thing is California gets a chance to get wet a few times.
Yeah, exactly. This air coming from the Pacific, a little bit more moderate than, obviously, that Arctic
Continental Arctic and polar, maritime. Polar. So big difference in air mass.
And California's saying, hey, more systems, bring them our way. We'd love to see some.
They don't have to be super soakers like this one was. Even if we can just get a few of these that are a couple of inches here or a half inch, it's going to be a good thing.
Love it.
So here's the air mass. Temperature-wise, we kind of look at these things and we figure out what the anomalies are going to be going out 10, 30 days sometimes. But with the Pacific air coming in, a couple things happen here. A, we know the snowpack's gone and it's going to continue to go away. So we don't have anything to refrigerate this air, even though it's polar, but we'll also have sinking over the mountains, so that'll also help to warm the air. That's why I think we'll see well above average. This isn't 80s, but for some people, maybe shorts and flip-flops, right?
Hey, when you're talking about,
40s,
I went
50s?
to Syracuse. When it got to above 35, everybody was in their shorts and their T-shirts.
Right, Hardy Bunch.
The people who were from there.
Hardy Bunch.
Put it that way.
All right, so even though we're warmer, we're talking about a mild trend here. That doesn't mean we will be without storminess. East Coast next week is interesting, to say the least. This is the American model solution. They take these two pieces of energy. This is the one that's going to bring the rain into LA tonight, then the southeast soaker on Saturday for Atlanta. This energy gets bumped off the coast on Monday with this piece. The European model, however, kind of brings these two together a little bit and makes a little bit more of a snow situation, especially for interior New England coming up as we work our way in toward Monday. And then they bring another system up on Wednesday, which is kind of cool. So here's the European forecast. You'll notice again, here comes that's the same thing. We're going to see the wet weather across the south. Both models suggest that. Now, what this doesn't show us is what the rain and snow line is going to be. So it's all going to be green. It means precipitation. But this is potentially a pretty significant snow for interior New England as this gets moved up and kind of phased in. The American model, however, doesn't bring these two. Look at what it does. It takes this and kind of bumps it way out to sea. So it, not much to do with this, at least at this point. But as we know, we're 5 days out. These models tend to figure out who has a little bit more of a handle on things, and they kind of come together toward the end. So we'll have a better solution, I think, certainly by Friday.
And real quick, for the people at home watching, the two coming together would mean a stronger storm than if they stayed separate.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The thing with the European, too, is they actually bring up another system on Wednesday for Boston as a snowstorm. So 2 storms, nor'easters in a row. We'll see.
We're watching it. You know it. Thanks, Jim. We'll be right back.
Currently in our area, 71 degrees with showers. Tonight, cloudy intervals, slight chance of a rain shower, low 72, winds northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy, chance of a thunderstorm, high 78, chance of rain 30%. Thursday night, thunder showers, low 72, winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour, chance of rain 50%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Is who we are. And fuels from Exxon and Mobil help your engine run smoother, cleaner, and with better fuel economy. We are energy, and energy lives here.
And use your Starbucks gift card any day through January 5th for a chance to win Starbucks for life.
In the nation, misfortune doesn't take a holiday. But add brand new belongings from Nationwide and we'll replace stolen or destroyed items with brand new versions. Making sure every season is the season of giving. Just another way we put members first. Join the nation.
Nationwide is on your side.
Ring, ring. Progresso. I can't believe I'm eating bacon-enriched creamy cheese before my sister's wedding.
Well, it's only 100 calories, so you'll be ready for that dress.
Uh-huh.
You don't love the dress?
I love my sister.
40 flavors, 100 calories or less.
A little more tree.
A little more snow.
A couple more reindeer.
A couple more bows.
Another dozen cookies just in case the neighbors show. A little more joy for Christmas. Just a bit more garland so my stairway looks divine.
Another nutcracker so the kids don't fight this time.
Why stop at 3 wise men when the mantle fits 9? A little more joy for Christmas.
Zantac heartburn alert! Stop! Nexium can take 24 hours to work. Zantac's different. Zantac rushes relief in as little as 30 minutes. For relief without the wait, try Zantac. No pill relieves heartburn faster.
Summer's over. The kids have grown 2 sizes.
We all need new coats.
Burlington has so many great options for the season. Scarves, jackets, shoes, great brands.
And the prices won't break the bank.
3 kids' coats for under $90.
Look out, Winter.
Here come the Wilsons.
All right, listen up. Out on that field today, you will be ready for anything. And I want you to always remember, this is the greatest team you will ever be part of.
There's important work to be done. And only some able to do it. Can you make the cut?
Then Santa's worker zapped it right to our house. And that's how they got it here.
Cool.
The magic of the season is here at the Lexus December to Remember sales event. This is the pursuit of perfection.
Energizer Ultimate Lithium, the world's longest-lasting AA battery in high-tech devices. Up to 6 times longer than the other leading brand.
So we've had a Tempur-Pedic for a while, but now that we have the adjustable base, it's even better.
I'm go up.
When I put my feet up on this bed, my stress just goes away.
Visit your local retailer and discover how Tempur-Pedic can move you.
All systems are go for tomorrow morning's launch of the unmanned Orion space capsule. Have you heard about it? It'll blast off from Kennedy Space Center in Florida just after 7 o'clock Eastern Time.
The 4.5-hour, $375 million test flight is a major step towards NASA's effort to send a human to Mars or an asteroid.
But this might be a problem, and that's fog. This is a live look at Cape Canaveral here. Perhaps you've seen this building with the big NASA icon on it. You can barely see the bottom half of it. Fortunately, they're not launching right now, or Houston, we have a problem, huh? An eerie fog bank rolled in Cape Canaveral in Florida late this afternoon.
Yeah, and we want to show you the forecast now for the launch. You saw that photo showing the fog. As we get into tomorrow morning, we don't expect there to be any problems. We do expect cloudy skies. Wind could be the only factor, but I think it will stay below 10 miles an hour for the launch. I think it'll pick up later in the day.
Yeah, that really is key. Well, needless to say, there's a lot on the line with this launch tomorrow.
Earlier today on AMHQ, Sam Champion asked NASA Administrator Charles Bolden exactly what will happen during the mission and also what they hope to learn from tomorrow's test flight. Take a look.
We're excited because, as you mentioned, this will be an opportunity for us to launch Orion and put it through its paces, looking at 3 basic objectives. One is testing the heat shield and the structure of the module itself to make sure it can withstand the heat and temperatures and pressures of re-entry from a typical lunar type of mission. Testing the parachutes, the landing devices that will lower it safely into the Pacific Ocean at the end of the flight, and then on orbit testing its guidance and navigation system, both in responding to commands from Houston and from the facility here at the Cape, but most importantly being able to command itself at appropriate times. So big test for us tomorrow.
All right, and we're very excited to watch it all here at the Weather Channel. And of course, that is good news. We'll handle the forecast to get you through the atmosphere, and then you handle everything from above, sir. But let me ask you this: there have been some very visible accidents.
I'm counting on you, Sam.
Yeah, yes, sir. On you. We'll do it. There have been some very visible incidents lately. The NASA launch explosion, also the Branson incident over the desert. So how do you recoup everybody, settle them down, and get them ready for the next launch? And what are you guys looking for to make sure it doesn't happen with this launch so it all goes off as planned?
Sam, we have done an awful lot of work to get prepared for tomorrow morning's launch. As I mentioned, we've had mission management team here on site that's been getting ready to go. Orion has been through several years of test and development. The most important part for us in this area was that the pieces and parts were flown into here, where the assembly actually took place at the Kennedy Space Center. So this vehicle was assembled here. It's owned and very proudly owned by by local folk who are right here from the Space Coast, and they're excited about seeing their vehicle launch tomorrow morning. It will be mated with the heavy lift launch vehicle, the SLS, in 2018 for its first voyage uncrewed again to test the integrated stack then before we fly the first crewed mission that will fly us to the lunar vicinity. So we're excited about it.
All right, so this one goes up, comes back down, and then we talk about the crew mission. What are our plans for the crew mission? What do we think about that? What's our time frame?
Well, the first crewed mission we call EM2 is scheduled for the early 2020s, 2021, 2022 time frame. It's planned to go into cislunar space, basically lunar orbit, where it will conduct a number of tests. There are several flights in that series where we will use lunar orbit and the area around the moon as a proving ground to continue to develop the technologies and test humans' ability to survive in that environment before we send them on to Mars.
And here's a look at your forecast. Remember, launch just after 7 a.m. 68 with partly cloudy skies.
My goal was to finally get in shape. Not to be focusing again on my moderate to severe chronic plaque psoriasis. So I finally made a decision to talk to my dermatologist about Humira. Humira works inside my body to target and help block a specific source of inflammation that contributes to my symptoms. In clinical trials, most adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis saw 75% skin clearance on Humira, and the majority of people were clear or almost clear in just 4 months.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Set a new goal today. Ask your dermatologist about Humira, because with Humira, clearer skin is possible.
This Thursday on the Weather Channel Mornings, NASA is set to test launch the Orion space capsule, taking one giant leap toward landing on Mars, and it will be entirely dependent on the weather. I'll be live from Cape Canaveral with the official forecast. Don't miss Wake Up with Al and America's Morning Headquarters.
This Sunday night, Prospectors, the $1 Million Mountain. Sundays at 9, premiering this Sunday on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 71 degrees with showers.